Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the NBA slate on DraftKings for Thursday, November the 1st. We have a 6-game slate tonight for Thursday. I'm going to go through each position and talk about some of my favorite plays, talk about the studs I like, the mid-tier plays that stand out to me, and if there's any value I see at each position, I will be sure to hit on that as well. And of course, I'll build my core of 5 plays, 5 guys that I expect to have a lot of exposure to by the time lineups lock. But before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. Really means a lot. Appreciate all your guys' support. And if you have not subscribed yet, if you are new to the channel, be sure you click that subscribe button down below so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. So let's go ahead and start off at point guard. Up top we have Russell Westbrook, 10,700 against the Hornets. Westbrook still feels a little bit underpriced. He really hasn't been really that great so far this year, at least hasn't been the Westbrook that we've seen in past years. So far this year, he's only played 4 games with the Thunder, but 58, 42, 49, 56 DraftKings points. He did get 32 points in his last game against the Clippers, but the peripherals weren't really there. Just got 8 assists and only 4 rebounds. Westbrook's a fine play here. I don't feel like I'm going to be loading up on him because I think there might be other studs I prefer. But Westbrook, I wouldn't say he's a fade for me, but I don't expect to have a ton of exposure to him. Damian Lillard at 9,900. Just don't see myself going there. I'd rather play Westbrook. I'd rather get up to Westbrook or just go down to Ben Simmons. I'd rather play Ben Simmons for $300 less. Even though Lillard's in a really good matchup, I think Ben Simmons for $300 less just feels like a better option. Dame's been great so far this year, but I think we are going to see a bit of regression for him. Not going to be this guy that's going to average 45, 50 DraftKings points. More down to about the 40 range is where Lillard will be most of the year. So I don't have a lot of interest in the top point guards like Westbrook, Lillard, Simmons. KEMBA's been great this year as well, but he's now up to 8,800. He honestly still feels a little bit too cheap because KEMBA's been averaging like 45, 50 DK points. Been putting that up pretty much on a nightly basis. This matchup with OKC, I don't mind here. Russell Westbrook's not a trash defender, but definitely not a guy I'm scared to take a point guard against. There's a chance Paul George could guard KEMBA here. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But like I mentioned, KEMBA just been really good this year. At home, we know he's really good. This game should be close and competitive. 2 teams that do play somewhat fast, especially the Thunder. So I like KEMBA here, 8,800. He's probably my favorite point guard to pay it for. But if we go cheaper, TRAE Young really stands out to me in the mid-range. Love this spot for TRAE Young. And I just love this game in general. So the Kings and the Hawks are pretty much the 2 teams that have been playing the fastest this year when it comes to pace. The Hawks play at the fastest pace in the league. The Kings play at the second fastest pace. So there's going to be a ton of scoring in this game. Both of these 2 teams don't really play a ton of defense. I think this is a great spot for TRAE Young. In competitive games this year, TRAE Young's playing close to 35 minutes. He's chucking up a ton of shots. It's a great matchup. De'Aaron Fox is not a good defender by any means. Not really a guy I'm scared to take a point guard against. I love Young at 7,100. Fox, on the other side, is for sure in play at 6,700. I think I'd rather play TRAE Young for a little bit more, but Fox I will for sure have some exposure to today. And then if we're trying to go cheap at point guard and we need some value, COLLIN Sexton at 4,600 I feel like is definitely a value play we can consider. I feel like the Cavs, just as the year goes on, are going to continue to give this guy more minutes, especially with Kevin Love out. I feel like the Cavs are going to be running their younger guys out there a little bit more. Sexton played 28 minutes last game, 32 DraftKings points. This isn't a good matchup. Denver does play really good team defense. They have some really good defenders. But if this game blows out, I'd imagine Sexton's still going to play, even if it blows out, because he is one of their younger guys. I do like him at 4,600. I don't think he's as good of a value since he's gotten priced up. But for sure an option if you want to go down that cheap. But I think that's it for the cheap value plays that I really like. So let's go ahead and move on to shooting guard. Jamal Murray is our most expensive shooting guard option. I didn't mention him at point guard. I don't have a ton of interest in him just on this slate in general. If we're just talking about the other shooting guards around him, I'd rather play Drew Holiday for 100 less against Portland. I'd honestly rather go down to like Gary Harris at 7K. Drew Holiday, if I was to pay up at shooting guard, he's definitely an option for me. I think TRAE Young might be shooting guard eligible. Let me see real quick. No, he's just point guard eligible. I would say you could play TRAE Young at shooting guard, but just point guard eligible. So shooting guards like Drew Holiday, if I'm paying up, he's the guy that really catches my eye. Gary Harris is going to continue to thrive with Will Barton out. It's 7K. Do like him. Buddy Hield, if you're stacking this Sacramento-Atlanta game, is for sure in play. Buddy Hield's actually been pretty good so far this year. Just been really good for the Kings. Been taking a ton of shots. Last 4 games, 20, 17, 14, 15 field goal attempts, 34, 32, 47, and 46 DraftKings points. This game's going to set up really well for him when it comes to pace. Like I've mentioned, 2 teams that play at the fastest pace in the league. Ton of points going to be scored here. I do like Buddy Hield at 6,400. I don't love the price since he's gotten priced up. I don't think he's as strong of a play as he has been these last few slates, but the matchup's really good, so he's definitely going to be a guy that I have some exposure to in my lineups that I do play. But now looking for value, so Gordon Hayward's price tag continues to drop. He's now down to 4,800, but I still don't think we want to go there. 25 minutes from Gordon Hayward, I don't know if he's worth even a $4,800 price tag with the minutes limit. Shooting guard, I don't think there's a ton of value here that I really like that catches my eye. Value plays, at least I feel like I have to have. So let's move on to small forward. So you do have Giannis up top here, 11,100. Gets a matchup with the Celtics. Not that good of a matchup. The Celtics, we know, are a really good defensive team. They just have a lot of guys they can put on Giannis. Even though like Jalen or Giannis is kind of matchup proof and he's a bigger guy, they still have Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart. They can put Gordon Hayward on him. Just guys that know how to defend and defend well. Even though Giannis is bigger than them and can body them up and just a bigger body than them, they're still really good defenders. At 11,100, I don't feel like I'm going to be fading Giannis today, but I don't see myself going too heavy on him. Honestly, might probably take the savings. Ben Simmons is $1,500 cheaper. I think I'd rather just take the savings, but I don't really like paying up for some of the small forwards up top. Going to the Sacramento-Atlanta game is where I like some small forwards. Taurean Prince at 6,900. Really like. Mentioned Buddy Hield at 6,400. Nemanja Bjelica at 6,200. Just been playing out of his mind lately. And I definitely like him here in this matchup with the Hawks. We just talked about 2 teams that play fast. A lot of points scored here. Bjelica's been playing great lately for the Kings. Been playing a lot of minutes. At least 30 minutes in 4 straight games. At least 39 DraftKings points in 4 straight games. 6,200 still feels too cheap for Bjelica. We saw like early on in the year, his minutes were kind of sporadic. They'd be high one game, then they drop down, then they'd be high again. But last 4 games, minutes have all been there. I think this continues. We see another strong game from Bjelica, and at 6,200, just still feels too cheap for a guy that's been putting up 40 DraftKings points almost every night. So I like him at small forward. Also really like Cedi Osman. Cedi Osman feels a little bit underpriced. Go back to small forward. He's at 5,500 with Kevin Love out for at least a month, I believe. Cedi Osman gonna pick up a lot of usage, a lot of opportunity for him. Finally got things going. His last game against the Hawks put up 31 DraftKings points, played 34 minutes, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal. These are kind of games we're going to see from Osman. The Cavs just don't have a ton of guys they can rely on. He is one of the guys that's going to shoot pretty much at least 10 to 15 times a game. He's going to grab some rebounds, get some assists as well. And at 5,500, still feels too cheap for Osman, playing 35, nearly 36, 37 minutes a night for this pretty much depleted Cavs team. Really like him as a cheap small forward, going back to the well on Osman at 5,500. And I think that's it for the value small forwards that I really like. Sam Decker's been playing well. He's been starting for Kevin Love, but he did get priced up to 4,600. I don't think Sam Decker at 4,600 is a guy I really want to be on. I liked him a lot when he was like minimum price, when he was like 3,500. 4,600, not as strong of a play in my opinion. So let's go ahead and move on to power forward. Up top at this position, you do have Anthony Davis. He's listed as questionable on DraftKings, but the news did come out that he was planning to play Wednesday against the Warriors. We haven't confirmed that yet. I'm recording this about 8 o'clock Eastern Time on Wednesday night. But if AD plays against the Warriors Wednesday like I'm expecting him to, probably going to play Thursday again against the Trailblazers at 11,600. I would say that he's probably my favorite stud out of all the guys. I'd play AD over Giannis. I'd play AD over Westbrook. Joel Embiid, kind of a toss-up. I love Embiid today. We'll talk about him when we get to center. But AD and Embiid are probably my 2 favorite studs. I don't feel like I'm going to have a ton of AD today because there's just not a ton of cheap options I see. It's going to be really hard to fit him in. But if we get some injury news throughout the day, if some value opens up, maybe I'll be able to get to AD. But for now, I'll probably have about 10-15% of him. I don't think I'm going to be able to go too much higher than that with just not a ton of value I see. So let's look at other power forwards. In the mid-range, there isn't a ton that catches my eye, so looking for value, depending on who the Clippers plan to use to guard Embiid, if they think Gortat can stop him or at least slow him down, maybe Gortat sees some minutes, but there's a good chance Montrezl Harrell's probably going to be the guy they use to guard Embiid because Harrell's a lot quicker than Gortat and can probably honestly just defend better. So at 5,200, we could see Harrell get 26, 27 minutes here, even against Embiid, who is a solid defender. I do like Harrell at 5,200 as a cheaper power forward. Tristan Thompson's been playing pretty big minutes for the Cavs lately. 29 minutes last game against the Hawks, got a double-double, 11 and 13 with 4 steals, 3 assists, 40 DraftKings points. I don't expect another 40-point game from Tristan Thompson, but if he's going to continue to play close to 30 minutes, could definitely get you a double-double at 4,800. So it could be a value play if you want to go down there. But I think that is it for power forward, at least the power forwards that really stand out to me. So let's move on to center. Quickly look at this position. So I mentioned Joel Embiid. Just love this spot for Embiid. The Clippers are going to be one of the worst teams this year when it comes to defending centers. Ever since they lost DeAndre Jordan, they just don't have a big body they can put on guys. They have Gortat, but Gortat's not really that good of a defender. He's pretty slow. He's old. They do have Harrell, who's a lot younger and a lot quicker. But Harrell's not like an elite defender or anything. Embiid should totally be able to dominate here. I'm expecting at least 50 DraftKings points. I think he has one of those 60, 70-point games today. Just feels like a smash spot for Joel Embiid. One of my favorite studs on the slate. If I can fit him in, I'm going to be playing him in a ton of lineups today. But I definitely don't think Embiid is a must. There are a lot of other good center plays. Yusuf Nurkic, ones that really stand out to me. Yusuf Nurkic at 5,900 feels a little bit too cheap. I feel like I'm going to be playing a lot of Embiid Nurkic today because Nurkic at 5,900 here, I expect him to play probably 27, 28 minutes. They're going to need somebody to guard Anthony Davis. It's probably going to be Nurkic. I think we're going to see big minutes out of Nurkic. Nurkic is always a guy that when he's on the floor, he's going to score, he's going to grab rebounds. If Nurkic plays 30 minutes, he's going to absolutely crush. Especially this price tag of 5,900. Nurkic could easily get 7x this price. We could easily get another 40-point game from Nurkic. Love him in tournaments. In cash games, he might actually be worthy because of how cheap he is. And I think we're actually going to have to see him play pretty big minutes here. So I love Nurkic at 5,900. I think he's one of the guys you can go to if you don't want to pay up for Embiid. You could also go to WCS, Willie Cauley-Stein at 6,800. Don't love that price, but that game just so much fantasy goodness, so many good plays in that game. 2 teams that don't play defense, 2 teams that play really fast. A lot of points going to be scored. I like Willie Cauley-Stein if you want to go there. Maybe even Alex Len. Alex Len only 4,900 could be a value play. He played really well last game against Cleveland. 27 minutes, 42 DraftKings points, 22 points, 9 rebounds, and assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. They're going to continue to give Len the minutes over Dedmon, and I don't think they are. I think Dedmon's going to start seeing more minutes, but Len's coming off a good game. Maybe they give him some good minutes again. At 4,900 could be a value center we consider. But I think that's it for center. I think that's it for the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Hopefully it helped you. If you enjoyed, just make sure you click that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And if you do have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_go, or you can leave a comment down below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it, and good luck tonight on Thursday's 6-game slate. Peace.